Let's face it, sedans are no longer the primary choice in the market. But lately, there have been new and returning competitors that have somehow revived the segment. Now the question is, will the Civic RS Turbo still hold sway over newer competitors? Let's find out. Hey guys, Jamil here from AutoIndustriya.com, and what I have for you is the 2025 Honda Civic RS Turbo. Today, we're gonna find out if this car still sets the bar in the sedan segment despite its price of under 1.8 million pesos. Now before anything else, please make sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel so you can follow us here at AutoIndustriya.com. Now, this particular generation of the Civic has been around since 2022, but I think Honda has nailed it in the design aspect. As you can see, the cleaner, the sleeker, the more mature look is standing the test of time. And I have to give credit for Honda for designing a car like this. It's been updated for the 2025 model year with a new snout that looks more mean actually. You have new LED headlights, you have new LED DRLs, you have the new RS badge right over here, and of course my favorite, they retained the Michelin Pilot Sport tires on the 18-inch wheels. Now the low roof of the Civic makes it look like it's cramped on the inside, but it's not. More on that later. But with the RS trim, you have a bit more attitude because you have blacked out accents on the door handles and of course the side mirrors. You also have a spoiler right at the back and dual exhaust so you know you're driving a 1.5 turbo Civic. Now the cargo itself is also pretty expansive on the Civic. It's 38 inches long, 40 inches wide, and about 15 inches of cargo height. You have two tabs right over here so you can fold down the rear seats. So far, so good, right? Now inside the Civic RS Turbo, it's been largely unchanged since 2022. But, Honda didn't really need to change anything of updating the infotainment system. It's always been simple and classy because of this honeycomb that runs over the dashboard. And it also has a hint of sporty without being over the top because of the red stitching on the steering wheel, the shift knob, and also on the seats with the suede pattern on the inserts right over here. And in terms of space, well, as I've said earlier, the Civic has a low roof, but I have good headroom right over here. And sitting position is a chef's kiss. You can adjust it via the electronic adjustment right over here, and I can easily find the proper driving position with the Civic. Now in front of me, I have a digital instrument cluster that has digital dials, which I really like. And we also have a 9-inch touchscreen that now has Google Play services. I am currently connected to wireless Apple CarPlay, but it also has wired Android Auto. And of course, we have physical knobs to adjust the volume, as well as the controls for the climate control. So thank you, Honda. Now down below, we have a pair of USB Type-C chargers aside from the wireless charging pad. And we also have two cup holders right over here that can actually fit in an aqua flask. At the back, the passengers don't get shortchanged either because they have rear AC vents, and they also have two USB Type-C charging ports, well, to keep their smartphones, charged during a long trip. Space is also a good thing for the Civic because there's plenty of elbow room, leg room to play with, even at the back. However, there are a few things that show the Honda Civic's age. And one of them is the quality of the cameras. Well, the rear camera is a bit dated already in terms of the camera quality. And somehow in this unit, I can't seem to make it work, the lane watch camera. So maybe it's just an issue with this unit, but in other units it seems to be fine. That's like the camera for the side mirrors whenever you're turning right. Now let's talk performance. Underneath the hood of the Civic RS Turbo, we have a 1.5-liter 4-cylinder unit, turbocharged VTEC turbo, that produces 178 PS and 214 Nm of torque. Now on paper, that doesn't seem that much, but on the road, it's really fun. I mean, there's smooth power delivery, and even the throttle response is really sharp when you switch it to sport mode. Now I know we have a CVT in the Philippine market, but I'm still really praying that Honda Cars Philippines will bring in the 6-speed manual transmission. They have it in Japan, and I'm still wishing that we will have our modern day SIR in the Philippine market with that version. So really praying for that. But otherwise, the Civic is just it's pretty fun actually. When on sport mode, it does a good job at mimicking a regular automatic. At that point, it seems to do the shifting pretty well. But of course, nothing beats the experience of having 3 pedals, right? In terms of fuel economy, the Civic RS Turbo rather does a decent job as well. Well, it's nowhere near the RS EHEV, of course, but in the city, I've been averaging around 8.8 kilometers per liter. And on the highway, I can take it to around 17-18 kilometers per liter. On the highway, of course, that's with the Honda sensing turned on, the adaptive cruise control with the lane keep function. It's really smooth. I think it's one of the most trusted ADAS systems that I have experienced as I reviewed cars. You know, the Civic RS Turbo is no Civic Type R, but it's more about balance with this car. Really, the gem of this platform is the hand. It's planted, the steering is precise, and the chassis is really communicative. Of course, at the expense of a little road noise. So if you want a quiet cabin, then you might not be too satisfied with what the Civic can do. As for comfort, it's comfortable for daily driving, even with the 18-inch Michelin Pilot Sport tires. But when you toss it around corners, that's when you know Pilot Sport is really a cheat code added to what's really a dynamic sedan that we have right over here. You know, lately there has been a resurgence when it comes to sedans. Like in the past Mias, we had cars like the Hyundai Elantra returning. We also have the Chang'an Nevo with the PHEV that's set to compete against the BYD Seal 5. So that begs the question, is there really a market for sedans here in the Philippines? I think yeah. Because, you know, crossovers and SUVs may be the primary choice, but some of us really look for a second car also. Daming pambiling mga tao sa Pilipinas. And that's where the proposition of the Civic really shines. You know, you might not consider it as your first car because of its price, of course. And even with the budget, you know, the Civic is priced with crossovers, SUVs. You can even get a hybrid for this price. But for a second car, it's hard to really fault the Civic for what it is. And with that, let's get back to the warehouse so we can wrap this thing up. To be honest, the price tag of the Civic RS Turbo is its main Achilles heel. At 1,790,000 pesos, it's kind of a hard pill to swallow, right? But for those who can, well, the Civic RS Turbo drives well, rides comfortably, looks good. So it's really hard to fault anything with what the Civic RS Turbo can do. And besides, you have that bragging rights of saying, yes, pare, I have a Civic RS Turbo in my garage. Anyway, let us know what you think in the comment section down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Jamil Lacuna of AutoIndustriya.com. Thank you for watching.